Hello and welcome to a 3v3 cast on Calderis Refinery. Starting off, we have Adeptus playing as the Warlock, we have Kain in mid playing as the Techmarine, and finally for blue team we have Matouzka playing as the Lord Commissar. For the red side we have Hiveminion, who's going to be up against Matouzka in his particular lane. We have John playing as the Chaos Lord. Don't really want to say his name because I try not to swear in any of my casts, and I would consider that a swear word, but he seems to, or one of his friends actually messaged me saying that he was okay with the name John, so I'm going to refer to him as John once again in this cast. And we have Aetherion playing as the Farseer on the left hand side, who's going to be in an Eldar mirror here up against Adeptus, where some engagements are already going down. The Warlock trying to jump in here, no Banshees to actually defend here for Aetherion. His Banshees are just coming out of the gate right now, but the Warlock is going to be free to just jump onto these Dire Avengers and try and pick away a few models. Here's the Farseer, gets knocked back with the backhand of that sword. Or Witchblade rather, since it's actually a Witchblade, not a sword. But the Dire Avenger is going to be trying to kite away as much as possible. Meanwhile, in mid, Techmarine and Tactical Marine is going to be fighting the Chaos Lord. And on this right hand side, the Lictor going to be flesh hooking a Guardsman model. I thought he was actually going to go in for the Guardsman pull, or the Guardsman Sergeant rather, but actually went for a regular Guardsman model. Double Homagons here as well for Hiveminion. Might be difficult to get double Homagons to actually work against IG in particular if they actually manage to shut down any kind of melee charge that they try and do, but the Lictor Alpha nearby should be able to actually get into melee combat fairly easily until the Castians actually arrive. On the left hand side, Banshee v Banshee. Adeptus' Banshee is going to be forced off by Aetherin's Banshees here. Aetherion should be able to have better support for his Banshees as well, with the Doombringer and Guide combination, which is a quite popular combination a lot of players do enjoy. But in mid, Kain going to be kiting away. This Chaos Lord here is getting some Devastators out, but for now his army is going to be absolutely overwhelmed, as double CSM here for John is going to be a bit too much for a single Tactical Marine and Tech Marine to actually handle, with Chaos Lord also trying to force melee onto these Tactical Marines at the same time. Chaos Lord doing power melee with his default weapon as well, giving him more effectiveness against heavy infantry. He is one of only two commanders to actually have power melee with his default weapon, and here's the Doombringer actually for the Farseer. So she will definitely be supporting those Banshees. The Doom Guide combination will actually destroy most units, especially if they don't have any melee resistance. If the Banshees are able to actually focus them down, but using Doom on a unit with melee resistance is like removing their melee resistance. And with the Guide as well for the 30% damage boost, the combination is quite lethal. But Guided Weapons team is coming in here. Aetherion with no counter to the Guided Weapons team yet. Could be getting some Rangers. Now that he's already seen Guided Weapons team, might decide to go Rangers instead of getting one for himself. Sentinel onto his right hand side, going to be detecting that Lictor Alpha, not that he's actually stealthed. But Lictor trying to go in here for a decap on this fully matured requisition point, while double Homagons are bashing away at the power here as well. And now with Chaos coming over as well to actually support this Lictor Alpha, Matouzka calling out that there are two people on his side, going to request some help here from Kain. The Banshee is going to be taking a bit of damage here from Dire Avengers, going to be forced away while the Guardian Weapons team here sets up for Adeptus. Is going to be focusing down those Dire Avengers and Devastators point blank into those CSM, but they are behind some green covers. They are taking reduced range damage. But even still, now that the cover has been destroyed by the Barbed Strangler Warriors, they will be able to do more damage, but the Havoc's coming in for the flank suppression will be able to force off these Devastators here in the end, especially with the Lictor Alpha and Warriors in the area as well anyway. But some executed Castians here, going to be upgrading to the Demolition Man, going to allow them to place down booby traps, going to give them an extra 25 health per model, allowing them to go from 900 HP as a squad to 1050. And also giving them the smoke ability, or smoke grenade ability as well, which allows them to block suppression, or to take reduced damage inside the cloud, and also suppression immunity inside that cloud. But the Rangers going to be coming out here for Aetherion, going to be trying to jump onto those Banshees here. The Banshees are so low for Aetherion. It does actually get the aspect of fleetness as well, which is quite curious considering you normally see aspects of strength the vast majority of the time. The only times which I really see the aspects of fleetness would be against Tyranids, because they don't have a proper vehicle come tier 2. They do actually have the Tyrant Guard, but since it's super heavy infantry, you just want to force into a shield wall formation. But the Lictor going to be getting a special here into the Guardsman, also going to get suppressed at the same time from that Barbed Strangler Warrior. Double Homagons are pushing in here as well. Executed Castians once again. Could see a shotgun blast, could see an unreliable doing extra damage when executed. Sentinel without Stomp available is going to try and get melee down here, but the Castian is going to come in with a shotgun blast. Going to be knocking back those double homagons. Could also force melee onto these warriors as well, but wants to try and keep them away from the double homagons, so best not to go in too aggressive. But Devastator's also pushing in here for Kain as well. Termagant's going to end up a little bit low. That Commissar is destroying everything in melee. That power sword is going to be absolutely lethal against these warriors here, who are luckily not to lose a model. Down below a third HP, not losing a single model. Otherwise the synapse bump from that would be painful. But at the same time as well, John moving over to that left hand side with his Chaos Sword, going to get forced off by the Guardian Weapons team. The Double Dire Avengers are moving in against these suppressed Dire Avengers here. Over Aetherion could throw down a plasma grenade. One squad upgraded with the Aspect of the Avenger, a second squad has not been upgraded with it, but the Kinetic Pulse is going to prevent them from doing any such grenade and will allow the Dire Avengers for Aetherion to escape. Meanwhile the Banshee is trying to fleet in here against Aetherion's Banshees as well. The Farseer is in the area, and the Doom Guide combination will allow Aetherion Banshees to win over Adeptus' ones, especially when the channeling runes are on cooldown as well. That's a sniper rifle purchase for a scout squad here in mid for Kain. Players now starting to tech up to tier 2 as well. Hiveminion and John going to be the first players to tech up to tier 2. All the other players are going to be slowly behind. Adeptus and Kain now also taking up to tier 2 as well, almost in synchronization, leaving Matouzka and Aetherion to be the last ones to tech up. But Aetherion going for a heavier tier 1, I believe, with the Rangers, the Pathfinder gear, the upgrade on the Banshees and the Doombringer compared to Adeptus. And Matouzka going for double upgrades onto his Commissar with the Catechins, and Catechins also upgraded, and Sentinel with an upgrade as well. Going to be going for those heavier tier 1s. Flesh Hook is going to go down to the little Commissar. Looks kind of weird when it doesn't actually pull in the unit. But with the Refractor Shield available, it makes the Commissar immune to knockback and immune to such abilities such as the Flesh Hook. Techmarine with Alcei Barnix there, going to get forced off by the Heretics, and the flare is dropped down onto this Tyranid army, but the Tyranid army does consist of quite a bit of melee, so they don't actually care about that flare as such. But the Devastator is doing such a good job here of just suppressing the army, and Flesh Hook being on cooldown, I know to actually interrupt these devs here, but the devs are going to get melee down eventually and going to get forced away. But the Homagons, Termagons going to get forced away. The Warriors with the Barbed Triangle also going to get forced away here as well. Down to, well, still on 3 models in fact, going to lose a lead model apparently there. Chaos Lord, who is now tier 2, going to be upgrading to the Armor of the Inferno, going to be very effective against this IG ranged blob. Meanwhile on this left hand side, Farseer trying to chase down that Guardian Weapons team. Doombringer is a very effective melee weapon at 57 melee DPS. Was getting that mixed up with the Singing Spears DPS, but it's a very strong melee upgrade for the Farseer, and on top of that the Doom ability is incredibly strong at the same time, and pretty much the majority of the reason to buy it as well. But the Guardian Weapons team is moving in here. The energy shields from Adeptus are actually getting used by Aetherion, they do work both ways, and Guardian Weapons team will get forced off. A Sniper Scout is coming in here from Kain along with the Techmarine as well to assist. Channeling runes are available for the Warlock, does actually need to use them on the Banshee before they lose any models, but the Farseer and the Banshee combination is going to be a bit more strong, or going to be a bit strong, but the Kinetic Pulse used a bit prematurely. Their channeling runes are going to be free to use now. Rangers taking so much damage, down to just 4 HP. The Shuriken pistols are not going to be going off because of suppression from Aetherion Banshees. It's going to be a bit too much, and his Banshees are going to be able to wipe down Adeptus' Banshees there. The Doom Guide combination onto the Banshees is going to be much stronger than the channeling runes for the Warlock. Devastator's going to be setting up mid once again, but the Armor of the Inferno is available for the Chaos Lord, but it doesn't actually need it, since the Chaos Lord can freely walk up to that suppression team, given that they were not focusing him down there, and the Chaos Lord will force him off and now switch focus to these Tactical Marines. But the Chaos Lord would kill the weak on cooldown, going to be very low. Grenade going to get thrown onto the Heretics, but Heretics will dodge it. Sniper Scout's going to be forced off here as well, as Zoanthrope coming in mid here for Hiveminion as well, who's also pushing on the right hand side against Matouzka as well. And mid is going to be reclaimed here by red team. Matouzka now against 2 people here if he's not careful, because the Chaos is on his way towards the right hand side, so actually help Hiveminion out. Stubbornness onto the Commissar as well, going to provide him with a loss of health regen, but in fact the Commissar is going to get forced off here because he did get slowed by that Barbed Strangle warrior. Doesn't want to risk dying. Falcon driving in a bit aggressive here. Luckily for him that there is no AV in the area other than this Zoanthrope, which can only do its Focus Warp Blast every now and then. Will be doing some damage to actually scratch down this Falcon, bringing it down to 324 HP. But the Zoanthrope will not be able to snare vehicles since the most recent patch. But the Falcon will easily get repaired up by the double Dire Avengers that are going to exit this vehicle. Rangers gain very low. Once again, we'll be able to get away this time. Not as low as what they were before when they got away with 4 HP though. And Chimera moving in a bit of an awkward position here for Matouzka. Looks like it's trying to come in for a flank. I don't know if the flank is the best idea against a very melee orientated army here of Hive Minions. P-Devs and Devastators also set up here. The Army Inferno is going to go down to knock over those Devastators. Sentinel Stomp is going to go through. Guardsman running away. Chimera is going to be pushing in here. It does have Guardsman inside it as well. The Adrenal Glands onto the Warriors as well, with heavy melee going to be very effective against that Chimera if it doesn't keep on moving. P-Devs now forced off by the Chaos Lord. In fact, there's actually a beacon here in mid for Kain. I'm not sure if that beacon is going to be the best choice. If Red Team do a joint push together, that could actually prove very painful with the beacon if they don't actually retreat away from the beacon. On this left hand side though, still the same stuff going down really. Dire Avengers versus Dire Avengers. The Commissar onto this right hand side though, with that power sword using the Inspire, going to be doing knockback or doing specials, very similar to how the battle cry works on the Force Commander to boost the damage of all nearby units by 15%. It also allows them to do specials with each attack as well. Castion's going to be taking a lot of damage here from that Lictor, but the Lictor Alpha going to be forced away. Grenade is going to get thrown onto these Mark of Tzeentch CSM. These need to retreat away straight away if they don't want to lose a single model. Devastator's also set up as well, not doing too much on retreats though, but the P-Devs could actually move in here and actually get a cap on mid. 330 VPs, 388. Blue team going to be slightly behind on VPs, but red team actually looking with the stronger army. You can see that they take up more of the user interface in terms of army. Noise Marines in mid as well with a Blastmaster upgrade, going to be preventing those Tactical Marines from capping, but a P-Dev going to be knocking down those Noise Marines and going to be forcing them back to base. Chaos Lord coming in once again with these Mark of Tzeentch. CSM second squad is still in base though, repairing, or not repairing, but healing. The Hollow Field is activated. Grenades getting thrown down. That was a really nice grenade in fact. Banshee's going to get caught out by the Water Spiders, teleporting aggressively to force melee into the Dire Avengers. Problem is there's a Guardian Weapons team layered behind them, and these Water Spiders are going to teleport once again down to 4 models. The aspect of the Water Spider is also purchased as well, so the leader of the Water Spider squad, the Exarch, will be doing power melee damage instead of regular melee, which will do bonus damage against that Guardian Weapons team, assuming that they focus down the cannon itself rather than the retinue supporting it. The bunker is going to get captured there as well by the Farseer. Chimera is coming in here from Matouzka as well. I think I actually drove across the entire back of the map. Castor is going to be exiting the vehicle as well, going to be doing some really nice damage there on retreat, going to be taking down a Banshee model and a Warp Spider as well. Meanwhile, some more flanking going down onto this beacon. Devastator's getting really caught out here. Devastator's going to go down. They try to retreat. They retreat into the beacon once again. There's also a call in here. Going to be some Spore Mines here since there's the Lictor Alpha. There's a Spore Mine drop. Beacon taking a lot of damage. There's some more Devastators set up there. Nothing to actually interrupt them. In fact, Hiveminion is going to be forced off here. Did manage to do a pretty decent push here by himself, but ideally needed the help of the Chaos in order to actually finish off that beacon and finish off all the units around the beacon, but still getting a Devastator squad is going to put him in a better spot, because that's going to be less protection for that beacon in the future. These double Dire Avengers taking a lot of damage. Grenade is going to get thrown down. Heretics are going to carry on chasing regardless of that grenade, however. Did lose half the squad in that grenade, but Heretics, they will easily reinforce those lost models. Chimera exiting with the Guardsman as well, going to be bashing the power of Red Team now. And Blue Team going to be supporting this power bash with even more units. Tactical Marines and Techmarine themselves coming in, but the Mark of Tzeentch, CSM and Havoc's going to be coming in as well. These Tactical Marines could always just instantly retreat. There is a beacon mid, so they don't need to worry so much about to instantly retreat. Look at the damage these Mark of Tzeentch, CSM are outputting. Havoc's also setting up as well here. I need to actually fire for some reason on that Techmarine, even though he was inside the Arc. Sentinel going to be running away here. The Flesh Hook failing once again. Flesh Hook was used onto the Lord Commissar when he did actually have his Refractor shield up, which meant that he could not get pulled in. Bunker going to get recaptured once again here by Aetherion, by that Farseer, and looks like it's going to be a big red team push now against this bunker, not against this bunker, sorry, but against this beacon in particular. Banshee's coming in, Hiveminion coming in, Mark of Tzeentch Dreadnought and Mark of Tzeentch CSM also coming in. In fact, Kain has just decided to ignore this bunker whatsoever, but the P-Devs decided that they did not get that message. Going to get meleeed down on retreat there by Hiveminion, as there are 3 players mid. But the bunker still in possession there. Aetherion currently not upgraded with anything as far as I can tell. Doom gain used onto the Dire Avengers here. They're taking so much range damage here from these Warp Spiders. Warp Spiders could actually teleport in aggressively. The Warlock is still in the area, but she doesn't actually have any upgrade whatsoever. She's going to be jumping in to actually support those Dire Avengers with the boost. Warp Spiders are going to come in to try and interrupt those Guardian Weapons team. Banshee's going to be fighting the Warlock here. The Farseer forced off. The Warlock also forced off. Warp Spiders are not forcing melee here. Mark of Zinch Dreadnought CSM also coming in, hit the area as well, and the Warp Spiders will be able to finally interrupt that Guardian Weapons team as well. Meanwhile, on that right hand side, Lictor Alpha and some Homogons trying to chase down that Chimera Warriors with the Adrenal Glands forced off here as well. Corrosive Claws here for the Lictor Alpha is going to be doing an insane amount of power melee damage and also making the unit that attacks take extra damage as well. 20% extra damage in fact. Very effective against the Sentinel in particular. The Sentinel has managed to stay alive throughout this entire game, but he's double Mark of each CSM coming in here now, one with an Aspiring Champion, one without, and that Dreadnought as well looking very fast. Might be enough to actually take down Sentinel. The Mark of each CSM came in at the same time, and that would have definitely been enough to take down Sentinel if it didn't react in time. That Chimera, wow. Mark of each Dreadnought really destroying that Chimera, getting some rear armor hits there with that Missile Barrage. Going to be a bit too much here. Energy Shield is going to go down. Warlock going to be leaping in here on top of the Banshees, but the Banshees immune to knockback while leaping into combat. Going to be forced to retreat away anyway though, because they did get suppressed by the Guardian Weapons team. Warp Spiders still in the area, but the Warp Spiders can always teleport to safety. The Exarch is still alive, but missing one model overall, and the Warlock still armed with her default weapon. A default weapon only does about 35 power melee DPS. It's not the strongest of weapons, and the Executioner is normally a suggested weapon upgrade. Castions though, Shotgun Blast is going to get used, going to be knocking back all the units in the area, but the Homogons and Warriors are still going to try and chase regardless. Lictor Alpha is also going to try and get in there as well, with the Corrosive Claws going to be increasing the amount of damage that these units take. Don't want him to actually get any attacks in on your units. But Seer Council is also here now for Adeptus, going to be jumping onto that Noise Marine squad. Noise Marine's not retreating away in time. They might take down a few models here. In fact, they might even lose a squad overall if the Fleet Global is used. Noise Marines with 1000 HP of heavy infantry getting destroyed there by the Seer Council. Red team are also going to be pushing in into the area where the beacon once laid, and you're also going to be supporting the Seer Council here, but the Seer Council actually retreating away. Don't want any part of those Banshees. And the Warlock is also coming in as well with the Champion's Robes, allowing him to actually have an energy shield up as well. But it is a tier 1 upgrade. Could see him upgrade to Providence later on. But Banshee's going to be leaping in onto the Dire Avengers now. Grenade is going to get thrown down. Grenade only going to be taking down one model there. Grenades are a bit weird when it comes to the energy shield. The energy shield is actually able to block grenades, I think, sometimes. But bit of miscommunication here. Warp Spiders taking friendly damage there from the Armored Inferno. Not communicating on who was meant to actually interrupt that Guardian Weapons team, and Warp Spiders actually going to lose a model there to friendly fire as well, which is very unfortunate. A Lehman Russ in mid now for Matouzka, but a Land Raider Redeemer going to be coming in for the flank against the Chaos Army. The side flame has now suppressed in 2.5, so do need to be careful of that. Land Raider is going to push in, did not use the frag assault. Meanwhile, mid, the Lictor Alpha is going to be going in. The Carnifex with a Venom Cannon is also in mid as well, going to be counter to the vehicles on the map. Tactical Marines actually able to cap in mid. Chaos Lord going in, no upgrades other than that Armored Inferno, but all the units going to be retreat to that Land Raider Redeemer instead. There's also a medical bunker, I think that is a medical bunker by now, in the area as well, allowing units to actually reinforce. Last Cannon going to be setting up, P-Dev's going to be setting up as well. Chaos Lord does go down. Carnifex is going to be doing some decent damage, but the last cannon is now set up in mid. Sentinel does also have the missile launcher available. That P-Dev shot is going to be destroying the Venom Brood, going to get some Synapse bombs off from that. Guardsmen are trying to run away from these Homogons, so we're actually able to close the gap here. The Mark of Zinch Dreadnought now coming in mid, going to be fighting that Land Raider Redeemer, but the last cannon still sets up here for Kain, able to have an arc of fire, and Farseer is taking a lot of damage, just forced off. The Avatar going to be coming in here. Seer Council and the Autarch though together should actually do some decent damage to the Avatar with their power melee. Doesn't look like Adeptus is actually using this Land Raider Redeemer as a retreat point as well, so he's going to be running all the way back space. In fact, this Land Raider Redeemer is really getting caught out here. The Avatar going to be trying to hit it with a sword in the rear, but Land Raider not taking any rear armor hits because it is immune to that. But Land Raider really needs to get out of the area. Techmarine is trying to desperately repair it up. The Mark of Zinch Dreadnought is also trying to chase it down. At the same time, the last cannon Devastators are forced away, but the Avatar could easily finish it off though. Avatar doing 240 damage per hit. That Mark of Tzeentch Dreadnought is trying to push in. Blood Sacrifice going to be landing onto these Casterons as well. Double Mark of Tzeentch CSM going to be taking down the Sentinel as well by the looks of things as well. PDev set up in the area. Avatar and Mark of Tzeentch Dreadnought so close to actually killing. Distortion Cannon is set up here as well. Dire Avenger is going to get forced off here. The Dreadnought is going to be going down. The Avatar still trying to chase down that Land Raider. Mark of Tzeentch CSM might actually have the damage to finish it off as well. Down below 50 HP at this point. For those side flamers with the suppression onto the Mark of Tzeentch CSM, the Avatar just needs one more hit. One more hit. Is it going to guess it? It's getting stuck. One more hit, one more poke even racing in the chat here. Meanwhile in mid, red team look like they're successfully pushing through. The Avatar should be able to kill it at this point. The Land Raider has nowhere to go. It's actually come into a dead end, and the Land Raider is actually going to go down. The Avatar now needs to get out the area, and there's nothing really here to even kill it. There is the last cannon that could set up to try and slow down the Avatar, but overall it should live. 119 VPs to 236 here. Red team are forcing blue team all the way back to the base right now, but blue team coming in here once again with a Seer Council Autarch combination, but the Leman though getting forced off by some Homogons, and the Lictor Alpha Pheromones drops onto the ground as well, so these Homogons can actually reinforce. But they're getting suppressed by the base turrets, going to get forced off, and the Lictor is going to stealth and get out the area. Seer Council jumping in onto the Blood Sacrifice Bloodletters, and also the Havocs here as well that were in mid, who have now gone down. They're going to be retreating away. The Avatar might be able to get a Seer Council member on retreat. Mark of Tzeentch Predator as well for John is going to be acting as another AV source. In fact, a second Land Raider Redeemer is also getting purchased at the same time as well, so that Mark of Tzeentch Predator will come in quite handy later against that, and also against the upcoming Fire Prism, and also against Leman Russ is also on the field as well. Actually no, not the Fist of Rock, it's the Xenos Power Claw here for Matouzka as well, with the Stubbornness. That together is quite a scary combination if you have enough Guardsmen for that 75% damage bonus. Insane amounts of heavy melee damage from a single person. The Farseer with the Spirit Stone is going to be healing up some Termagants. Termagants not really caring too much about the last cannon fire. Time Field though, the Armor of the Aetherion along with an Eldritch Storm going to be catching out that Leman Russ. The Leman, is it going to get stunned? No, the Leman is actually going to be able to freely drive on out of there. If it did get snared or stunned in place, that Venom Cannon effects might have been able to finish off the building or the bunker in control here of Adeptus. He's going to lose his Warlock. Upgraded to a medical bunker finally. It wasn't actually upgraded to a medical bunker earlier, so that was my mistake. But the Mark of Tzeentch Predator could easily chase down this Fire Prism. The problem is that all the units are just path blocking each other here. The Mark of Tzeentch CSM blocking the Mark of Tzeentch Predator, and here comes that second Land Raider Redeemer. Warp Spiders here in the area as well, but not enough energy for a Haywire Grenade. Haywire Grenade was just used on that Fire Prism. The Avatar is going to be going in. Bunker recaptured once again by the Farseer here of Aetherion. 2 hits from that Avatar, and that Fire Prism should go down. One more hit. Might be enough here. No, 1 HP. Avatar doing 120 damage per swing here. Rocket Run is also going to go off down onto Hiveminion's army, who's just lost his Termagants and the Homogon squad. And the Fire Prism is going to live. The Wailing Doom was not enough. The Avatar not having a sidearm was not going to be able to finish off that Fire Prism. The Seer Council Autarch combination, Autarch also armed with an Executioner. The power melee is going to be so much for this Avatar to actually deal with. His super heavy infantry, so we'll be taking a bonus damage from the power melee. Meanwhile, mid, Kain is going to go in for a cap here. Land Raider is in the area still, and still is alive. Is going to be setting up base there next to the bunker, the healing bunker, along with the healing aura from the bunker is going to be, or the healing aura from the Land Raider is also going to be a bit too much there together, and Warp Spider is taking a lot of damage. That Exarch is definitely going to be going down for the squad, even though the squad, no, the Exarch actually got out of there in time. Terminators are in the area. Terminators are capping here for blue team right now. Leman is backing away. Homogons and Termagants going to be backing away as well, and Without Number was called down there for Hiveminion to get him an extra squad of Termagants, an extra squad of Homogons. Blood Sacrifice used once again. Those Blood Sacrifice Bloodletters going to be going down, and blue team going to be in control of this VP. 60 VPs for them, 2-to-1 cap right now. Noise Marines with a Blastmaster coming in once again. This is a replacement for the one that was lost earlier. Double Mark of Tzeentch CSMs both upgraded with the Aspiring Champion, both nearly level 4 as well. Dark Avenger's going to be setting up in a very defensive position here. The Fire Prism did live earlier against that Avatar. Very fortunate there for Adeptus. It did get away with 1 HP. And for now, it's going to be the calm before the storm. The Lord Commissar looks like he wants the storm to come a bit earlier though. decides to actually push in, but decides to just back away there. That will get knocked over by these Noise Marines here. Aetherion is setting up, red team are all kind of setting up for a position for a big push together. Red team though, with the VP advantage, do have a bit of extra time. Chaos Lord is going to try and go in for a solar cap there, does have that Dark Halo as well. Does use a lot of the energy from his Dark Halo though in order to actually do the Armor, the Inferno, the Let the Galaxy Burn ability, and Hiveminion coming in for a flank against Matouzka, going to be going for that Leman Russ, going to be dropping some Spore Mines onto the Guardsman army here. Corrosive Claws, effective against vehicles. Along the Adrenal Gland Warriors coming in. The Spore Mines just instantly dying to the Flamers here. Red team coming in still from every direction possible. Seer Council, Orsoc combo going to be feisty. These Mark of Zinch CSM. The Leman though is going to get away with such low health. The Venom Brood trying to chase as well. Guardsman also set up in the area. 5 Prison. Aetherion is not actually pushing in himself. Predator is going to get away there. The Leman is going to live with 26 HP. The Seer Council though destroying these Mark of Zinch CSM as well. And red team trying to go in for the cap here. There is a single Mark of Zinch CSM squad here, but the Seer Council could make their way here with the Autarch and actually destroy him. The Farseer is going to go down here, going very aggressive against that Guardian Weapons team. In fact, she might be able to kill it, doesn't actually end up killing it. Warp Spider's taking a lot of damage. A Fire Prism is also in the air. In fact, there's no AV here for Aetherion, so this Fire Prism is going to be free to do what it wants. And that D cannon is really destroying the Dire Avengers and the Fire Prism as well with the Dispersed Beam. Going to be a bit too much there. D cannon now getting focused down, now getting meleeed down. In fact, that Fire Prism might even be able to snipe them if not careful. Looks like it's switched to the Focus Beam now, but Lictor is in mid. Going to be pulling in the Calcican Sergeant here before retreating away towards safety. Seer Council and Autarch still in the area as well, but currently this VP needs to be controlled by blue team. Tactical Marine's going to get called down for Kain, which is kind of curious this late in the game, but he really wants the cap maybe on the VP just because of how low the VPs are, but 55 is plenty when you've got a 1-to-1 cap and you know that the enemy isn't going to cap it anytime soon. But the Castkins and Lord Commissar are going to be forcing off that Distortion Cannon there for Aetherion. Kain saying, "Don't shoot me." I'm not sure what he was attacking there. That looks like John and Hiveminion wants to come in for another push. They are grouping up big time here. No nukes available though for anyone on red team. They are available though for people on blue team, and red team going to be making another push in mid. Harmgon's going to be leading the charge against these Termagons. Cyclone Missile Launch going to be knocking back those Venom Brood here as well. The Lord Commissar is going to be a one-man army against these Cycle Zinc CSM, the Blood and the, not Bloodlessers, but the Homogon's going to be coming in here. Fire Prism doing a bit of friendly fire damage. The Leman's still alive, and the Baneblade is coming out. The Lictor is going to go down. Venom Brood is not going to be enough AV against these two tanks right now. Time Field getting used once again from the armor of the Aetherion on the Farseer. Heretics going to be leading the charge in level 2, but level 2 isn't really too much this late in the game, and they are in fact going to go down there to the Autarch Banshee's going to be leading the charge in. Do actually have the Autarch available, will win, or will not win. In fact, actually they're getting destroyed by the Seer Council, and they will be going down. Warp Spiders going to be the next target. In fact, they did get knocked down for retreating away. Will be going down. Flare is dropped down as well to actually reduce the range of that Mark of Zinch Predator. And the Cyclone Missile Barrage is going to be destroying that Predator as well at the same time. The Baneblade is just free to just push in here, and red team are going to be forced off completely. Seer Council on retreat of that Distortion Cannon as well, and that is definitely going to be going down here, and red team are actually going to concede the game. Blue team just coming in here with all the squad wipes coming in here from a VP deficit are going to be the ones to actually take this game.